Oh God. Fuck.
Start fucking leaking right through. I put a fucking even bigger wad in there. This is ridiculous.
All right. Restart the recording. Hello and welcome to episode number 48 of the NJ Multi-Species Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Santiago, and as always, my partner, Chris Pereira, who is bleeding to death right now through his nostril.
Won't stop. It won't
And
stop.
for some reason, his face seems to be unusually swollen. I don't know what the hell is happening there.
Well, this is just stuffed with toilet paper now because it just started leaking right through the piece of tampon I put up there.
Yeah, it looks horrible. Tonight's
I left
guest
my glasses somewhere.
Tonight's guest is Jen Wong, Jen Chino Wong. Jen will have a lot of great stories to tell, I'm sure. First, in other news, we went fishing Lake Pack on Sunday. Weather was horrifying, but the fishing wasn't bad. Caught a pretty nice mixed bag of fish. Largemouth, pickerel, perch, and then a lot of crappie. We got rained on, hailed on, horrible wind. But yeah, we fished with Eddie Mackin. And
yeah, I think we experienced every season within 6 hours, just
basically
all 4 seasons. It was ridiculous, but yeah, the fish are ready to cooperate. I mean, we probably would have killed it if the weather was normal. But
yeah,
like you said, we did pretty good. It was a nice mixed bag. No monsters, but
the river gnome continues to terrorize everyone and just send friend requests to everyone. He unblocks people, sends them a message, and then blocks them immediately so they can't answer him. I'm like,
dude, it ain't even worth talking about the guy. I'm done with him. We made the post. It's done. The guy's got problems. We tried to be nice to him. He went off the rails, started talking crap behind people's backs. That was the end of it for me. So,
but the amount of people that are getting these messages and then screenshotting his conversation and sending it to the next person is crazy. Like,
well, the notion that you could possibly think you're going to talk crap to that many people behind other people's backs and it doesn't always just come back to them almost immediately is crazy.
Yeah, we're not sure what's his problem, but it's over now, so that's it. No more river gnome. Any updates, Skillful Angler?
Skillful Angler leaderboard. Let me see. Why does the guy that's bleeding from his face have to check the leaderboard?
Well, because I need Jen in here. I don't have anything without him.
All right. Well, I told him to come in. He's not answering. So,
all right. Episode.
All right, we've got a entry for bullhead catfish. That's Kevin Glenn, as most people know him on Facebook. Real name Kevin Meaninger, apparently. I don't know. 14 and a quarter inch.
We don't even know his name. We don't even know Kevin's name. We don't care. Jen, what's your problem? Where are you? Yeah, yo. Are you coming on or not? Let's go. Come on.
What do you say?
He said he thought he just hit it. I don't know. He should be here any second.
Yeah, he's
Skillful
lying.
angler. So Kevin's on there, and that was caught with the shrimp from that. Somebody mailed us a shrimp in the mail, and Kevin caught a skillful angler catfish with it.
Yeah, this he's actually his name's Matt. The company name, I don't want to screw it up, but I think it's FC Fish Company.
Yes,
Something
I
along
think.
those lines. He's gonna come on next month and talk about it. Like we've been saying, people contact us all the time, want to come on the show, want to promote their stuff, and we just have one little rule. We just need to know it's legit stuff. We just need to know it works. This guy was real confident in his bait. He actually sent some right over. They're like preserved shrimps.
He was very confident.
Yeah, they're like there's. I don't know how they're preserved, but
Freeze
they're
dry. Freeze dry.
freeze dry. Yeah, they're real shrimp, freeze dried, preserved. I guess they last, if not forever, a really long time. And there's different colors. So like stained water, whatever, you could use a bright color.
And scent too. There's
Yeah.
scents.
Um,
It'll
so
last longer than us, that's for sure. This shrimp's good for like 500 years, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we tried it ice fishing. Didn't work, but that's not surprising. I'm sure it would under certain circumstances.
I don't think anything worked ice fishing.
Yeah, well, once the water was open, started warming up just a little bit. Kevin took it out, went catfishing, caught a big ass bullhead on it. So Matt's gonna come on next month, talk about that. We have, what else we got here?
You just don't know what to say because you're bleeding to death on the.
Yeah, I don't know why you're making me do this. Got another 9-inch bluegill. So bluegill. I'll do it. I don't care. And did you see my mug?
No, but I do have to ask this because I saw your girlfriend Katie just posted this story 8 minutes ago of you guys building this Disney castle. I hope this isn't why you were late to the podcast, was because you were doing this puzzle. Is that what was going on?
It's Legos.
So you were late to the podcast because you were doing this Lego thing? Is that where you were?
You think I broke my nose doing Legos?
You showed up late to the podcast. Your nose is bleeding profusely, and there's a video up of a Disney castle built of Legos. So what the hell was going on over there before this show started?
I was taking a shit. That's why I was late.
Oh my!
Then I wanted to make some tea in my mug, my bobber mug, but I was only a couple minutes late. Then I'm like, let me blow my nose so I could sound clear when I'm talking. I blow it, and it just starts gushing blood.
All right, dudes, can we cut for a minute, please, to get Jen in here?
I could talk about bobbers until Jen's ready.
All right, so our next guest is finally here. He's been fishing New Jersey basically his whole life. If you follow New Jersey Facebook or any social media in the fishing community, you've probably seen him before. We have Mr. Chino Wong here tonight.
Jen, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, Jen, it took you 45 minutes to get in here.
It took Jen so long to get in here that my nose stopped bleeding. So
is he actually in here? Because I don't see him in here.
No, we cannot see him yet on the main screen
maybe
there.
He's not here. Everything tonight seems to be malfunctioning at full capacity.
There
he is. Okay, we see him now. All right.
Please.
So let me see where I could start with him. All right, so Jen, right off the bat, you never did the Skillful Angler program. I know I kind of like talked you about, not talked you into it, but kind of told you about it. And
yeah,
now,
you talked me into it, so I did it.
Now it's March. You've already entered 7 Skillful Angler pickerel already.
5. I messed up on the one pickerel. He clipped my finger. I was bleeding, so I threw him back. But the second one, I took the picture, and then the tail was missing.
The tail was missing?
I took a shitty picture because I was bleeding.
You took a bad picture.
All right,
but
Jen Wong.
I got 5 in the hopper.
All right, so Jen Wong, awesome at fishing, terrible at getting on Skype and taking pictures of fish.
That's right. Old man stuff.
So now you are involved in Skillful Angler, and you have 5 already. How many are you going to keep sending? Do you think you'll go for the uh, master and the elite, start catching bass and stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna do all that. Whatever I catch, everything is seasonal. Right now it's pickerel, so on the tail end of pickerel. So I'm gonna max that out, and then next is gonna be bass, and then soon trout. I'm gonna do whatever I catch is going in,
And now what?
Mayhem contest too.
Yeah, that's the NJF's madness. Uh, the one thing that is really kind of unorthodox about you is the jerk bait. I mean, that is basically your lure. That's what you throw for almost everything. The way that you use it is very unorthodox too.
Well, it is and it isn't. I just use it more violently to get strikes. I found like years ago to get that reaction bite. You if they can't see it, they're not going to eat it. If you don't trigger them to eat, if even when they don't want to, you ain't getting nothing. The way I fish for all fish is you trigger them. It's the reaction bite. You get them to eat. I throw the jerk bait all year. Does it work all year? No. I mean, I'll catch fish, but certain times of the year, the way and you don't use it the same all year either. It's different techniques, different styles. Like the way you guys seen me use it, that's for cold, for winter, end of winter and shit like that. Later it gets different. The cadence is different. There's a whole thing to it. And it's if you get that, you don't have to steal people's spots. Because I got guys trying to steal my spots, but they find my spots and they don't use the baits right. So it's like, what's the sense? Learn your shit first before you start doing that.
It doesn't sound like Jen wants to get into too much detail, so I'm not gonna press anything. Anything you don't want to give away, you don't give away. That's our other rule here. But I will say, you said you use the jerkbait all year round, but it doesn't always work. Do you just stick to? You do use other lures, but
yeah, absolutely. But I use it to find them. And then if they're killing it, I'm gonna stick with it. But then once I find them, see what kind of mood they're in, then I go on. I throw everything. I throw spinner baits. I slow roll. I throw Neds. I throw the Z-Man stuff. I got a bunch of Z-Man crap. It's all seasonal and right now it's spring. It's everything is pre-spawn feed, which means everything's eating. Like right now, before the pickerel that we missed the pike. Pike usually go first, then pickerel, and then after pickerel, then everything else comes. Sometimes all at once, sometimes in order. Now, and like the jerkbait, here, I'll give you the technique because I've done a bunch of podcasts, and it's the same crap. Everybody's going to hear the same crap over and over, but here it goes. I cast it out, and I use a suspending jerkbait. My preferred one is the Rapala Shadow Wrap, the SDR11. It suspends, and it's the bigger one. But now they came out with the Maverick, which is the 110 millimeter size. And it's heavier, it goes faster, and still suspends, and that one's killer too. And I was using that actually the last couple times, and that works really well. I mean, it's a little bit more money, but it's not $30 like some of these other jerkbaits, which I can't see because I got pike biting everything off. Sometimes the pickerel bite them off. I can't see spending $30, $40 on a jerkbait when I catch them with what I use.
If you're fishing targeting pickerel, pike, or muskie, or whatever with teeth, a lot of guys will put a steel leader on their jerkbait, but that ends up really messing with the action. I mean, you're going to get a completely different action.
Absolutely. I mean, I take the chance. Only like with the pickerel and like the smaller pike. If I know the bigger pike and like muskies around, then I got to go with some heavier stuff. But like for what like you guys came with me, we went to fish for. I just use fluorocarbon because the way you move the bait, the way you move the bait doesn't give. Sometimes they'll choke it on the paws, but usually when they choke it, they still can't bite through it. I mean, even the big ones. I mean, what was that first day we went, right? I got that 26, and that was pretty big. It was okay. He choked it, but it came out. But he didn't bite the line. I didn't even have to retie.
Yeah, the way their teeth are in the corner of their mouth, if the line kind of goes out the side, it seems to avoid their teeth. It's when they come back around this way and the line goes across, that's when they end up cutting it. I mean, that you hear all the time, guys landing really big muskies while they're walleye fishing with 6-8 pound, fluorocarbon. I've had a muskie, no joke. I've had a muskie cut through 60-pound fluorocarbon like a hot knife through butter. Just cut it right off before there was even tension on the line. The lure was gone. Before I even set the hook and there was nothing there. The line just floated up in the air.
Yeah.
The thing just cut right through. If it hits their teeth right, it's like scissors. If it gets in the right spot though, it won't cut it.
Right. You know
and
what?
Jen, I'm sorry. You're
after
mostly
the spawn. After the spawn, right? When I told you this is pre-spawn feeding, the pickerel go away, right? And then the other fish come in. But after they spawn later on, like going towards a couple weeks later, they come back. They're not as big, they're not as heavy because all the eggs are gone. But they come back. You can catch some long ones, but they'll come back up there to eat again because there's still food in the spring coming down. Right now there's what's that? The stonefly hatch.
Stonefly. Yeah.
Stonefly hatch is going on, so that brings up the small fish, and then everything else eats those, all that stuff. The pre-spawn feed is definitely the best time.
But let me ask you, you're primarily a land-based fisherman now, most of the time, and being a land-based fisherman, it's much harder to hide spots. It's fairly easy to do from a boat, but from land, it's difficult. So, you want to explain a little about? I mean, I'm not saying name a spot, but talk a little about the precautions that you have to take with pictures, and I know you have to take extra steps with your fishing.
Yeah, I mean, I set up my tripod in a way. I get my remote out, my little neck lanyard remote, and I set it up to where I know it's not getting any knowledge, landmarks that they could pick out. I mean, back in the day when I first started taking pictures, I didn't care, and then it's like, oh shit! Then I found out it wasn't good. Like 5 billion people started killing some of my other spots, and it definitely wasn't good. I mean, I think I sent you guys that one big pickerel. It had the background on it. I'm not going to say any more than that. That one was like a 30-something incher, and it had a background on it.
What, 37-inch pickerel?
No, 30-something.
30-something.
37. Yeah. 30. It was just over 30. That one, I think. That one, yeah. That had the background, and guys figured it out, and then. But see, it also came down to the guys that figured it out, but they can't fish. Some of them can fish, and then they'll catch a couple, but they want to catch when they see I post. Like sometimes I'll catch a bunch. I do the work. You got to do the work. These guys don't want to do the work. They want to go do easy. They want to say, "Oh, he's catching them. I'm going to go catch a ton of them." Well, it don't work that way.
It's still annoying to have people there, whether they're catching fish or not. But I think basically, if you're fishing from shore, especially. If not for yourself, then for anyone else who fishes the particular spot, take a picture that doesn't have anything, damning in it. That don't get a building in the background, don't get a bridge in the background, don't get just get some take a picture with the trees and the rocks. I mean, we
just lost them.
Yeah. Well,
hold on. Some idiot's calling me. Let me get rid of it.
Put him on.
Oh, there he goes.
Anyway,
all right. So that was Jen Wong.
Like I was saying, I've seen it go the other way too. I've seen guys complain about a picture that doesn't have anything except some trees and rocks in the background, but because they fish this whatever the spot is, they recognize the tree and the rock, and then they start giving whoever it is a hard time. I mean,
how do you feel about the grayed out backgrounds or blacked out pictures?
I mean,
those are just annoying, no?
It's pretty easy. Whatever. It is what it is. It's pretty easy the picture editors on the phones have a function where you can just circle things and it gets rid of them. So if you take a picture and you catch like this red house in the background that everyone's going to, oh, that's that lake there. You can just circle it and it just turns it into the trees that are next to it, just gets rid of it. And then all you have in the background is trees. And you don't have to make the picture look stupid. I mean, if I had to do that to the picture, I probably wouldn't even post it.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it ruins the picture completely. I don't even want to look at it. By that point, I don't care about your fish because I'm just staring at this black abyss of shit, and the picture is destroyed.
No, I mean, like I said, it's pretty easy. There's the cut out the feature, so... Well, whatever.
We should start reading comments from Facebook and like the complaints that we get while Jen's not here. Like,
you got any bobber complaints?
There's tons of bobber complaints that all we do is fish with bobbers and catch bluegills. And
all right, I'm back. Can you see me?
We're sorry to inconvenience you, Jen, in the middle of a show here.
No. This guy was calling me. That's all. One of my buddies. I get rid of him without losing the link. Anyway, sorry.
I put my phone on do not disturb when I'm doing something important, Jen.
We're talking about some of the stupid comments. Someone said on Facebook that we don't fish for bass. We fish for everything else because we're not good enough to fish for bass. That's why we don't do it. That might be the dumbest thing anyone's ever said on a social media platform I've ever read, possibly.
Well, I guess those are the same guys that are trying to sniper fucking people's spots.
I like that word. I'm stealing that. He calls them snipers, these spot stealers. Snipers. I'm going to call them.
That's too cool. That's too cool of a name to call them.
It is cool, though.
Well, that's what they do. I mean, that's what it is.
Jen, now, I think I found out recently you don't swim. That's why you kind of don't like the whole kayak thing. I don't blame you. If I couldn't swim, I wouldn't do kayaks either. But now your son just opened a kayak business now, right?
Yeah, he's going to do those tournaments. He's trying to get me to do it. Forget that. I'm not doing that shit.
You know, if you're wearing a life preserver, though, you won't sink.
Well, I mean, you know what? I got a little car. That thing's heavy. I'm too old to lug shit around, all these things. I mean, if I'm going to fish like that, I'm going to fish on somebody's boat.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I only use the kayak in places where the boat can't go. But do you want to give your son like a little plug? I know he has a website now. He's going to be selling kayak stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I hooked him up with a couple connections. He's also on with Naqua, which is a battery. They sell batteries, the lithium stuff, all that good shit, stuff that powers all the shit on the yaks, all that stuff. He has yakmods.com, and he sells all this stuff for the yaks. I mean, I help him out when I can. I have a discount code, but I can't remember what it is. And if anybody wants to buy stuff, but whatever.
If anyone wants to buy something, Jen may eventually remember the discount code.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. He might not.
I'm guessing not.
Now, I notice saltwater, though. I see you on boats, and I see you saltwater fishing a lot, too. So that seems to be a fairly big part of your fishing that you do also.
Yeah. Actually, I fish with Team TNT, and we fish fluke tournaments the whole summer. And actually, last year I won one. It was like $4,000, which was good.
Really?
My share was $4,000.
Wow.
I with this guy. Sometimes you could win more. The one year we won a ton of money. I mean, it got so bad that we were winning so much. Back in a while ago, people were complaining. They say we cheat, and there's cheating going on. So they made us take lie detector tests, and guess what? We passed. Big deal. A bunch of babies. We beat your ass, so take it, go home and cry.
What were they saying you were cheating? Like, how were you cheating? They were saying
There's
what?
guys out there that box and like fish in the water. They'll fish all week, and then they'll take that fish and they'll keep them in cages in the water, and then all of a sudden they're in a live well tournament day, and people have gotten caught.
Jesus,
that's got to just be the most embarrassing thing I could ever imagine.
No, there's large amounts of money involved in these things, right? It's serious money.
When we fish, we go all in. There's Calcuttas. The whole team, out of 4 guys, we usually have a 4-man team. You can win 12, 14 grand in one tournament. And if you got 2 or 3 tournaments that weekend, those same fish can win all the tournaments if they're all big.
Yeah, see, that kind of cash is always going to bring some kind of criminal element to the situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just unavoidable. Now, I know you're getting ready to go down to Florida for ICAST. I mean, you almost have so much shit going on, I can't ask you about all of it, but, I mean, now you're going to ICAST, correct, in Florida?
Yeah, that's in July. ICAST is, I hope everybody knows, it's the biggest fishing show in the world. But it's not open to the public. It's for all the manufacturers to show all their new stuff for the upcoming year.
Yeah.
Like the Maverick, the Rapala, they debuted it last year, and they're just finally. I think they're on the market now. You can get them like in the stores. That's where all that happens, and it's from companies from all over the world.
And how many days do you stay there for?
Well, the show goes on for 4 days. The first day is set up and get your credentials and all that stuff. And but I go down for 8 days, and I hang out with my boys down there, and we go fishing like crazy. So I'm gonna go catch peacocks again this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'd probably miss the show because I'd just be fishing down there.
Well, I mean, I got to do the shows actually because I just signed up with Fishing FX. It's a new rod company. They were basically originally, I don't know if you saw my post, but they were a custom rod company, but high-end custom rods. And the last competition, which is a worldwide competition, out of 100 entries, we came in number 10 in the world of all the ones that entered. Number 10 out of
There's over 100 entries, no?
Yeah, because everybody submits their rods, and then so we came in at 10, which is pretty damn good. So I just signed up with them. I just and we're gonna debut. We're gonna make mass production rods, and that's gonna debut at ICAST.
So he's putting out a line of like
that anybody could buy. You know what I mean? It was the most popular designs, and then they made a couple choices, and then we go on after that and for the better ones later on. But
the most popular of his custom designs are going to be part of his lineup now.
Initially, yes. I
mean, I've never used the rods, but it sounds like you're basically getting a custom rod,
but mass produced.
So you're not going to be paying as much for it because they're making
tons
more.
Yeah.
And we also there's a possibility Jen's going to call into the show live from ICAST.
Yeah, we can do that, or we could tape it. And I'll be posting. I don't stay at the booth all the time. Plus, I'm going to be at the Lunkerville booth, that TV show in Lunkerville. I'm going to be at the Cast King booth a little bit, and I'm going to be hanging out with Jim Crowley from Jim Crowley Outdoors. He also has a podcast, and he has a TV show on Wired to Fish. I hang out with everybody. And Knock was going to be there. I'm going to hang out with them. I'm going to be all over the place like I always am anyway.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, what's better than fishing except looking at fishing stuff, hanging out with people who fish and people who make the stuff?
Well, like Jerry Z says, if you can't fish, why not just talk about it?
Absolutely.
But Actually, yeah, that reminds me. This podcast episode is brought to you by njfishing.com, New Jersey's #1 source in fishing for the past 27 years. And also Eddie Mackin's Rip and Lips fishing trips. His deal is still going. Also, if you book a trip with him, you get $80 off if you book before April 1st. And that's who we just fished with Sunday, and it was pretty awesome. So, highly recommended.
Oh yeah, for sure. Jen, were you outside on Sunday, Jen?
Sunday? I don't remember.
I fished with Jen Saturday morning.
Yeah, we fished Saturday. It was a blow. It was nasty. It was
good. But Jen caught one. Jen did catch one again, and I did not.
Well,
I gotta buy that lure, I guess. One of these Mavericks.
Jen.
Yeah.
We're fishing with Eddie Mackin on Lake Opakon.
Should I buy the Maverick, Jen? Is that what it is?
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
I just want to tell Jen, we're fishing on Lake Opakon with Eddie Mackin. Lake Opakon's got all the species pretty much except for pike and salmon, And then I'm throwing jigs and floats, stuff like that. I'm pan fishing. I wanted yellow perch. I missed out on the ice fishing. That's where I usually get my yellow perch fix. Didn't get to really ice fish much this year. So I wanted to fish for yellow perch. We just couldn't really find. We found one here, one there. It just wasn't happening. Joe threw pickerel lures the whole time. All he wanted to do was catch pickerel.
I threw the chatterbait, Jen, with a Yamamoto Zako, whatever it is on there. I just figured if I throw that, eventually a giant pickerel or a giant bass is going to hit it. So I said, let's go big or go home. And we went home. We didn't go big at all.
But that's the way to do it. I mean, you're not going to catch
Eddie Mackin was throwing a jerk bait and probably caught a dozen pickerel.
Well,
that is true. Joe
wouldn't switch.
Listen, I'm very stubborn. Once I've made my game plan on what's going to do it, that's what I'm using. Also,
that's ridiculous.
The jerk bait he was using was so small. I didn't even have one that little.
We could have given you one.
I don't like taking people's shit.
Oh.
Jen, this weekend, me and you are going to walk around the saltwater fishing show, and then we're going fishing, or no?
Yeah, we could do that. I got to go see some people down there, but yeah, most of the time it's going to be seeing people.
Who are we going to see? Are you going to take me to see the big head honcho guys, like the big dogs?
What big dogs?
I don't know who these people are you got to see that you're taking me to.
No, the people from the show, I got to go see John.
Oh, all them guys are going to be there?
John from Nor'easter. John from Nor'easter is going to be there. Tony Maja, Alberto Canese is going to be giving us.
So I'm gonna let Jen just jockey me around the show to all the important people.
Well, I mean, they're people who fish, whatever you want to call them. I mean, come on, bro. The people who fish. We all fish. We all do the same shit.
Yeah.
Except they got real sponsors. They got big money sponsors.
These
people make big popular products.
They sure do.
Well, so let me double back to the jerk baits, right? So you were talking about the shadow wrap. I love the shadow wrap. It kind of replaced the husky jerk for me in most situations.
Yes.
Joe is offended by that, I know. But I also don't think he ever used the shadow wrap. He just stuck with the husky jerk.
Right.
Now, real quick, Joe, did you ever you've used X wraps, right?
I do use X wraps.
So the X wraps, the difference between the husky jerk and the X wraps are like a much more like slashing, violent type of motion when you're using it versus the husky jerk, the way I would describe it. The shadow wrap it's not as slashy of a movement, but it kicks much more off to the side, I guess. Is that how you would explain it? Almost does like a 180. Like a 180.
If you use it the way you see me use it, you guys see me use it, right? And it looks the way I fish it, right? Right.
It does. The first time I saw you doing it, I said, "What is that?" He's fishing it like it's like a live shine. I'm saying, "What the fuck is he doing?"
Right?
It looks like he's having a seizure, and then it looks like he takes a 10-minute break and
I
forgets
feel
that
like
it's
there's
there.
like Zelda music playing in the background. He's like doing this cadence of like it's like a lightsaber cadence he does, but it works.
The shadow wrap, it's perfect for this kind of fishing because the X wrap don't do that. The X wrap just goes like a little side to side. I could make that shadow wrap turn 180, or I could make it turn all the way around.
Yeah.
And actually look at the fish if you use it the way I use it, and that once it does that, that triggers them like even if they don't want to eat, that triggers them to want to kill it. That's what it is.
Now, how come, Jen, you seem to be so stuck on the J11? You don't downsize that lure at all?
No, because to me, I know everybody talks about that. There are times, those are times. Okay, well, I'll catch less, but I'll still catch. You see, what it is for me, I'd rather use the bigger bait. The bigger bait will catch the bigger fish most of the time.
Not always.
Not always, but for me, my experience, it works for me. I mean, okay, there are times when I'll catch up. Like the last time I went up there this year wasn't as good as the past year. So I got 7 pickerel one day. And there was other guys fishing down the other end, and they were using jerk baits, but they weren't using it the way I was using. One guy caught one, and it was a little one, and the other guys didn't catch shit. You got to make it move that they want to eat it or kill it. And
now you're saying this new lure outdoes the shadow wrap. So don't.
Yeah, that's what I want to get to.
It casts further, and it's a 110. What it is their version of all those expensive jerk baits, right?
And I have no idea about it. I don't look at lures that are overpriced. I just don't do it. They're not worth it.
What is it called again, Jen?
What?
What is it called again? The new one?
The Maverick 110.
The Maverick 110.
It's 110. The 110 is 110 millimeter. It's a little bit bigger. A little bit.
It's a little bigger than the shadow wrap.
Yeah, because everybody came out, all the European companies came out with the millimeters, right? Oh, okay, here's our 110 jerkbait. Like I forget all the other companies, but and then they were selling for 25. It's like, kiss my ass. I'm not paying that much for something to bite it off. Screw that. And you can get, I swear, but the Maverick casts further. It moves just as good. Unlike the X-Wrap. See, the X-Wrap moves like if you remember the original countdowns. You remember the original countdowns? That moves like that. It's got the tighter wobble, all that stuff.
Yeah, you're right. It has its place, but right. if you want that big, like shooting turn, 180 turn, like you called it,
right?
That's a shadow wrap. That's why I really love those shadow wraps. You're saying this new Maverick, which I haven't used yet, it has the same movement as the shadow wrap, that big side 180 kick?
Yes, if you use it the way I use it. It'll do the same thing, but you can cast it further. It has a little bit bigger profile, and it's counterweight balanced. There's ball bearings engineered into it. I think I sent you guys pictures, but the ball bearings are engineered to be in spaces so you can cast it even further.
They kind of like slide and hit in and really give it a...
Yes. I mean, you cover water, you're going to catch more fish.
Like a Yozuri pins minnow. It has the balls inside.
Do they?
The Yozuri
the pins are floaters, and they don't have
Do you like that lure, the pins minnow?
I use those for trout.
Trout, yeah.
The pins minnows do come in suspended too. They don't all float.
Yeah, I stopped.
Well, that's the crystal. I think the crystal minnow is the suspending one. The pins minnow is the floater.
Yeah, I stopped using them, and then I found out like those little ones, I'll catch, like rainbows, right? Rainbows usually won't hit a big bait, but I get them to eat that big shadow wrap.
Really?
They're hungry. Yeah. I get them to eat it.
The bigger trout definitely will T-bone those those bigger jerkbaits.
I mean, I catch crappies. I can catch bluegills on the big shadow rap. I catch everything on it. Rock, everything. Everything bites it if you move it right and you get it near them.
I believe
that's really cool. Is there a certain color? Because I don't see you changing like lures a lot.
You want him to give away his color too?
No, I'm just asking. Does he change colors often, or does he always throw the same color?
No, I mean, the silver. I throw the white, but this time of year, depending on the clouds or sunshine, like one of my favorite colors is the carbon color. Matt, Chris, you know, I almost called you Matt.
He called me Matt.
Chris has the same one. The carbon is killer because that works in all conditions. They can see it. Now, there are times where the silver, that flash, that'll get them to fight over it. I've had 2 fish hanging on each of those treble hooks.
Yeah. And like Jen started saying, so we went pickerel fishing with Jen. I've never really targeted pickerel since I was learning how to fish and first found out about a pickerel and thought, look at this cool fish that's in these lakes. Like, let's try to catch him. And then, and a lot of people feel this way. And I think it comes from when you're fishing for other stuff and you're using lighter leader to try to get those bites. A pickerel comes by, bites it, takes your favorite lure, pisses people off, and then the pickerel get a bad rap because they're so willing to hit all these different lures. They end up taking people's lures all the time. I think that's where that's where they get all this bad publicity from. And I fell victim to it too. I lose a lure, damn pickerel, and I end up not targeting them. And Jen kind of convinced, like, all right, let's go. Let's target pickerel. And when we went there to target them, for anyone that smallmouth fishes later on in the spring, that jerkbait bite for smallmouth, it's very similar, except you just have to adjust for the colder water and the slower reacting fish. But my jerkbait tackle box was filled with these same lures that Jen likes to use for the pickerel. It's the same stuff that I'm using for smallmouth during that later spring smallmouth bite.
Absolutely. And the smallies, other than later in the summer when they start crushing topwater, which is my favorite, I'd rather catch 2 on topwater than when I know if I throw a rattle trap, I can catch 10. I'd rather catch 2 on topwater. It's just so much more fun.
We need to take him fishing. How late can you stay up, Jen?
What do you mean?
Oh, I already told him about this.
Oh, he knows already? All right, we'll take you fishing if you like topwater, we could do that for sure.
You're coming topwater.
You just got to stay up late.
Yeah, no big deal, bro. I used to work nights. Remember?
He's retired.
Well, now I'm retired, but I used to.
My uncle's retired too, and I took him out there once, and he screamed at me like, "When are we going in?" Like I got yelled at.
Oh yeah, Jen, you can't do that. We don't go in.
No, we don't go in, Jen.
Are you kidding? I fish.
Real quick.
He'll be addicted to that. If he likes topwater, he'll love that shit.
Oh yeah.
Here, now you know why I'm divorced.
I was telling him about it, and he was like, "Dude, that sounds like the coolest thing ever." I'm like, "Well, come and experience it." But
it's literally so. Listen, I can't go without sleep. I need to sleep. I'm a baby, and I will go right from the lake to my job during that time because it's just that great. I'll just go right to work. I don't care. It's worth it to just die because it's just
the way I do it. I don't drink coffee normally. I don't have a coffee every morning or ever, unless I night fish through the night and then have to go to work on no sleep. Yes, I just get a small coffee, keeps me right through the day. Gets me right. Coffee is like magic if you don't use it every day. Do you drink coffee, Jen?
I pound coffee. When I was working those 12, 14-hour nights. I drink a whole thermos and a frozen coffee just to stay awake, to stay alive.
So it probably has no effect on you. I'm telling you, if you don't remember when you first started drinking, I don't drink it. If I need it, and I do, it works.
Yeah, it makes your heart just race and you feel like shit.
No, I feel fine. Just a little small one just to get you through the day. Sip it through the morning, go right through the work day.
Okay, Jen, I have to start to say goodbye to you.
No. I
We're
was trying to get one last thing out.
This is it. One last thing. Go ahead.
About the rods for a jerkbait. You can't just really use any old rod, right?
No.
You tell me if you don't agree with me, but the tip on that rod, if it's too fast, when you're using that jerkbait, if you want to get that real erratic action, if your tip is too stiff, like too fast, it's going to pull the line, right? And it's not going to let that jerkbait do what you want it to do.
Yeah, that's no good. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I use 7.2, a 7.1, nothing smaller than that. It's a medium fast. I also use the lighter braid, but if you wanted to move the way to get them to bite, like, of course. So you want to be able to cast far. I mean, that's the whole game. I mean, like everybody complains about like, to me, I love pickerel because it's the first one up. Before that is pike, and then after that is the next species. I fish for whatever's biting, and I like to try to catch the bigger ones of each species that come. I mean, that's it. So, I mean, everybody's snot rockets and I knew some guys that killed them, and I go, don't fucking kill them. What's wrong with you?
Chris is one of those. Chris murders them. Well, he
No,
used to. Now
no. If we would kill them in my friend's pond because he had a stocked pond in his backyard and he didn't want the pickerel in there, so I'd help him clear them out. I mean, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted it to be a bass and panfish pond. He didn't want the pickerel in there.
All right. Now, Jen, I have to say bye to you because Chris, we wasted 45 minutes on his nose bleeding and then having your Skype trouble.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fishing trips planned coming up with you. Some of them haven't even been revealed yet, but we know one of them is really big news, which is going to be awesome. So we have some fun coming with Jen in the next few weeks. That'll be pretty cool. Is there anything you want to plug, Jen, before you go? Any of your stuff?
Lip glue.
Oh, of course, lip glue.
Signal 11, all the hunting stuff, all the hunting scents. They're pushing the turkey calls now because
I saw that he came out with new turkey calls. Yeah,
that Naqua Power. Naqua Power's good stuff. Lithium. Shit don't blow up or catch on fire. Yakmods.com. Fishing FX custom rods coming out to be mass production.
Yakmods.com. That's your kid's site, right?
Yeah, that's my son.
Okay.
And Tony Maja custom lures, which is the big striper stuff, the spoons, the big spoons, the trolling lures, and who else? Oh my God, who else? Let me see. Oh, and Cast King. I'm an affiliate, Cast King affiliate.
Well, if you want to plug the stuff that's behind you, why'd you blur your background?
Yeah.
I don't know. That just happened. I don't care.
He didn't
That's
do
just
that.
my hats. I don't give a shit. That's hats and shirts that are there anyway. Doesn't matter. I just couldn't remember what they were.
Thank you so much for coming on, and I'll see you this weekend. I don't know if Chris will because he doesn't.
Yeah, call me during the week. We'll figure it out. We'll go and we'll go. It's a good. That's the best show. It's the best show there is anymore.
Yeah, it sounds fun. I think Max might come with us. We'll see.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna be fishing. I can't skip a day fishing to go to a show. I can't do it.
I'm gonna buy an Abbott there. I think.
Sometimes you gotta, what they call that, network. Gotta do it, bro. You gotta do it. I mean, what's his name wanted me to get him a crappy sponsorship.
What?
Never mind.
What? All right. No, we're not even doing
God, he's bringing up this guy again.
All right, that's it. Good night. We'll be Chris. Who's the guest next week?
What do I have? I just had it right in front of me.
We don't even know.
Next week we've got Jerry Hicks from Net Trek. He's got, I don't know if you've seen any of the posts.
Oh, the net guy.
We haven't really been able to get out on the streams yet and really use these nets, but
actually, Jen caught a pickerel we netted with that net, and there's a video of that on YouTube.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool net. I dug that net. It had the measurements on it, right? That one?
Yeah. It's got a lot of features. It's got the measurements, got the extending staff. Like we'll go all into it with them. It's a really cool net. I think it won either an award or
it won like most innovative net of 2023 or something.
Yeah, it was mentioned in like the top 5 nets right there with like Joe's favorite El Jefe fish pond net and stuff. But he sent me one a while ago, and I've been putting it through the ringers. I mean, it's a pretty cool like compact net. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I forgot to mention nor'easter. Nor'easter. You want to look cool catching fish? Get some nor'easter gear.
I love nor'easter gear. Actually, I have their fleece hoodie, and it's like so. I love the shit. So it's great.
Yeah. Well, you could meet John when we go.
I met him once. Now I'm going to meet him with you though, so it's much different.
Does he get to meet Jim Best too?
Will Jim Best be there?
Jim
Jim Best does not. Jim Best likes me. He just hates you. He doesn't.
No, I talked to him. I said, look, what's up with you and Matt? I mean, Chris.
Matt Nelson.
I said, what's up with that? Oh, he was giving me shit. I was only playing with him. I said, well, whatever, bro.
Tell Jim Best that I have fired Matt Nelson and I now work with Chris Pereira. So
yeah, that's not a lie. That's not a lie.
It'll work, Jen.
He's a good guy, bro. He is.
Yeah,
he really is.
I've talked to him before about hunting and stuff. He's hilarious.
Dude, if he was just busting my balls, then when I busted his balls back, why did he have a fucking conniption? That's my only question.
PTSD, bro.
Most people on the internet are just busting balls, except a few.
But why, when I bust their balls back, they go off the rails and just lose their shit?
Well, how do you know that's losing their shit through a computer? I mean,
I didn't send you the messages he sent me.
I don't want to be involved. I don't care.
Yeah, you don't want to be involved.
You're turning this into drama. Jen wants to sponsor the other guy for 8-inch crappies. It's enough. Too much.
I don't make drama.
You and Jen just made drama.
How is that drama? That's just stating a fact.
Yeah, we're just laughing, bro. It's funny. Funny shit.
It is funny.
I mean, if you misunderstand, I'll send you my father's phone number so you can call him
up. My God.
All right. Look, this episode also brought to you by Bobbers.
Bobbers.
One of the most important tools you can have as a fisherman. Keep that lure, that bait exactly where you want it every single time. Keep suffering for the fishing.
Control depth fishing. I do that with trout, bro. I catch tons of trout.
That's it. That's why I got the bobber mug.
Okay, I am going on Cabela's right now to look at J11 shadow wraps. So I will see you guys next week.
And Mavericks.
The Maverick, I think, is out of my price range, but I'll look at one.
Yeah, it's only they got them on sale for $12.
Oh, I got plenty of shadow wraps. I need Mavericks.
Yeah, $13. They debuted at $15. But now somebody had them on sale, I think.
Do the local shops have them already? Because I'd rather go there.
Not yet, but you're gonna pay full bank for them. You're gonna pay $15, maybe more.
You know what? I don't care. We've talked about this before. Yeah, I'd rather go down to the Sporting Life and buy it there, even if it's a couple bucks extra. And you know what? I don't think half the time it even is, because I don't think he jacks up his prices at all.
Okay, well, retail is $15.99 or $14.99 or something. I don't know. It's supposed to retail at that, which is cheap, because all those other Lunker Hunt and all these other fancy whatever, and they're way more than that, and they don't even work that good.
No, my only problem, my only issue with some of the Rapala lure, they all work. All the Rapalas work. They're awesome. I love them.
They really do all work.
Some of them break way too easily. But these, like the shadow wraps, the X wraps, I'm assuming these Mavericks, they're much more durable.
Well, also the Mavericks have the better hooks.
Okay.
They don't come with those. I'm not going to say cheap hooks, but they come with better hooks than the shadow wraps. I shouldn't have said that, but I did. They come with really, you don't have to swap them out. All these guys, they swap them out. The pro guys, they swap out the hooks. I use it like that. They bend them up. I don't care.
Well, I mean, it's kind of I've heard guys talk about the good hooks, bad. They're not bad hooks. They're just very thin. But now you're going to get an easier penetration into the fish's mouth with those hooks, they're just gonna bend out easier. You just got to be careful. I don't consider them not as good. You just got to take the pros with the cons. I feel like
the way I use them, I catch whatever I catch. I mean, I got a couple 7-pound largemouth last year on those thinner wire hooks.
Yeah,
I didn't lose the fish. I mean, they were bent, so I bent them back. Or I stopped swapping them out because I know if I get a bigger fish, how to fight it, or I'll try to fight it so I don't lose it. That's all. But the Mavericks do have the better hooks, which is why the extra couple bucks. And
all right, so we'll look at Mavericks. We'll look at these Mavericks too.
Yeah.
All right, Jen. Thank you so much for coming on, Chris. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Through the bleeding to death, you still made it.
I thought I was gonna go the whole episode. I was gonna have tissue stuffed up my nose.
We'll see you this weekend.
Okay. Later.
And we'll see everyone else next week.
All righty.
Keep suffering for the fish, New Jersey.
Absolutely.